Hello viewers, this is my first video about patterns in C language. If we understand how to print patterns, we can improve the way of thinking in programming and can able to perform any type of complex programming logics. So today I am going to start the patterns with a basic functionality. Almost all the patterns programming involve iterative statements and conditional statements. Iterative statements are something like which makes the code executes multiple times. For example, for loop, do loop, etc. coming to conditional statements, this makes the code execute only when a given condition is correct. So let me start a basic pattern that helps you know the index of a position it means which prints the for loop index. This will let us understand the conditions to decide how to restrict the stars in patterns. First, let me type basic syntaxes to define header files, opening main function, clrscr function to clear the previous output screen, get ch function to pause the output screen until we press some key. Now, at first initialize the variable n to store the integer that entered by the user in the output. For allowing user to give the integer value for n, write the printf syntax to display message asking to enter a number. Next, when the user enters number on the screen, it should be scanned to store it in variable n. So use scamp syntax to read the value. Now, actual logic starts for pattern display. Let's first open a for loop on I variable. I equals to 1 means for loop starts with I value equals to 1. Next, I less than or equal to n. It means the code within the for loop keeps on execute multiple times until the I value becomes less than or equals to n value. And I++. It means the I value increments by 1 with each loop. In the same way, let's write for loop for j inside the I for loop. Now, let's print the I and j values in the output. Using the printf%d syntax here, I am going to print the values in a set format within the brackets. Within the set, first value is the I value and second value in the set is j value. After completion of each I for loop, we need to move to next line to make the output print in next line. For that, using printf\n syntax. Let me place the semicolons to above printf statements. Sorry, I forgot. Here observe that the I for loop is outer loop and j for loop is inner loop, so here the inner loop executes every time completely after each outer loop. If the n value is 5, then outer loop executes 5 times. And the inner loop will get executed 5 times after each of outer loop. It means the code inside the inner loop printf statement will execute 25 times in total output. Now compiling the code, and we found 2 errors, that is I and j are not initialized. So initializing the I and j variables here. Now compile again, and it is success. Now execute to see the output. Enter number to print the pattern size. Here I am giving a sample value 5 and clicking on enter. Wah! It shows all the sets with I and j values. Here each set contain 2 values. First value is I, which means row index. And second value belongs to j value, that means column index. If you observe the sets here, there are 5 rows which stats that belongs to I for loop we wrote. And for each line there are 5 sets, it means the j for loop is iterating 5 times for each I for loop iteration. Why only 5 rows and 5 sets in each row? Because we added a condition in the I for loop that I less than or equal to n value. Here, n means the value we entered in the output, so it's 5. And the j for loop condition also we wrote as j less than equals to n, which means 5, so 5 sets in each of the 5 rows. Now let's replace the I and j values in the printf statement with a star, so that all sets in the earlier output will get replaced with each star. So it prints 5 stars in each line with 5 lines in the output. Now let's execute and see, giving the input as 5 again. Here it is 5 rows with 5 stars in each row. Now let's run again, and this time let's give input number as 8 and click on enter. It printed 8 rows with 8 stars in each row. Let's learn more basic patterns in the coming videos and slowly move on to the advanced and insane patterns. If you need any pattern logic, please leave a comment. I will prepare the logic and post a video on it in my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe channel to support me.